And you're welcome back to Sister Sister on 97.3 City FM and City TV. Remember our WhatsApp number 054-998-6996. Okay, let's go into our next message. Says, good evening, sisters. I want to know if, as a lady, it's important to know your boyfriend's password on his phone. I'm 28. He's 31. We've been dating for almost a year now and are planning to get hitched next year. He does his best to prove that I love him, and I love him too, but there's an issue. Okay, I've noticed that he has been cheating with several ladies and tells them that he loves them. When I confronted him, he said that they were just messages and he could swear that he hasn't cheated on me before. I let it slide, but just last week I saw those kinds of messages again. He keeps changing his password often as well. When I asked him why he keeps changing his password, he gave no reason. He went on to say that I'm worrying myself for nothing and that I'm the one he wants no matter what, that I should stop worrying myself. He admitted that it's a bad habit and he's trying to curb it, so I should bear with him. So my question is, should I stop checking his phone? Because I don't want to lose him. People say, I don't know what you think, see.
Let's go. The problem is you are dating, you're not married yet. The moment you feel the need to always be checking your partner's phone, the moment that feeling is there, like there's a need to always be checking, then there's a problem. Because, I mean, my whole life with my husband, I've checked his phone like no more than twice. And the time I've checked, I've seen what I was looking for. You understand? All I'm saying is that, and there is really no need to check your partner's phone. Once there's a need to feel like you're always checking, then there's a problem. That has to be addressed. And if you are dating and there's no issue, I mean, really, I don't think you want to put yourself through the heartache. Now, he's a chronic cheat. He's not going to stop because he wants you. Yes, it's possible that he's speaking the truth when he says that you are the one he wants and you're the one he's going to settle with. It may be possible. It may be true. He may end up marrying you, settling with you, giving you the ring and everything. But it's not going to stop his cheating habits. That's something he's used to. And I'm thinking that your partner, once you see certain messages that involve like love messages going back and forth between him and several ladies, a man who respects you would immediately put an end to it, even if he thought he was just flirting or he thought he was just being cool. If he values you and values the kind of person you are to him, he should stop immediately. Then that's a sign that, or maybe he's trying to put an end to whatever it is that he's doing, and you could probably give it some time and all of that. Lastly, I have a problem with people, unless of course you work with CIA or some FBI or some central intelligence, something. Why the need to always clear your messages, change your passwords every month? Why? What? No, hold on. What job do you do? What black ops. Yeah, like what is your job description? I mean, if it's a social phone, just because you want to keep in touch, and you know, these things about passwords and things, sometimes, of course, boyfriend and girlfriend, there is no must that you should exchange passwords and all that, but sometimes the password is to ward off unwanted people into your phone, not really that person into your phone. There could be emergencies that would require the person having access to your phone. You know, so sometimes, I don't know, this whole password issue, I know that yes, it's your password, it's your thing, but the essence is not to keep it away from your wife or from your husband, it's to keep it away from thefts or third parties and everything. But the need to always change his password means that he wants to make sure that even if you found out this one right now, within the next week, it's changed, so you can't even see anything. Why? For me, that activity in itself is very shady for me.
Sure.
And if you were my sister, I would tell you that you should evaluate this kind of relationship, because I can see a lot of heartache and pain ahead. Because even relationships that you're comfortable that, oh, there was nobody in the arena, the guy was very, Charlie, that one cry, you are up for surprises when you actually settle in. So with this one, that from day one, you are seeing messages and he's changing his password frequently and he's making light of what you are seeing. As no, they are just chats. I mean, things start from somewhere. I mean, anybody who's dated anybody, it started from some form of, oh, hello, hi, communication, some form of, oh, you look nice, so then it evolves into something else. So don't make light of that conversation. It's not just a conversation. It's something that can lead to something more serious. So if he's not ready to curb it in the bud right now, I think that it's not something you should even look at taking into your...
Next level.
I mean, taking to the next level, as in getting married. I mean, because once you get married, like I said, you get married, a lot of things change. Families now, look, if you want to work out, cry, the family say, no, don't go. Then even if they say go, cry now, you have to now pay there. Plenty to get through the divorce proceedings.
Sure.
So you should be very cautious when you are entering. And sometimes when you're very cautious when you're entering, when these things are happening, at least you know within your heart that you didn't see it coming.
Right.
But when you've seen all these things and then you enter and then they are amplified, it's like, but I've always been like this, so why are you now complaining?
Right.
You know, that's when the mental issues come in and the depression sets in and all of those things set in. So I think that these are serious red flags, and then his reaction is even redder than a red flag. So I think that you should really evaluate the relationship. If I were you, I would now, before it gets too late.
Because she wants to know if she should stop checking his phone.
No, you see, it's
So
not.
she doesn't want to lose.
She can't stop.
No, the stop checking your phone there. See, even if I tell you to stop, you can't stop. Because in your head, you know he's up to something. And you cannot lose him. Why can't you lose him? You see, why can't you lose him?
You've seen Kakai at the beginning like this.
You see, when you are at a certain stage, you can talk of I can't lose him because maybe there are so many things at stake, i.e. children, maybe your finances, your this, your that, your that. But in cases where when you walk out, it's just you and your bag walking out.
Quick.
And in cases where this guy, I'm not sure whether he cannot work out on you. I mean,
Probably can.
He can easily work out on. He has so many options.
Because
People
he's
chatting
sampling.
with.
He's
Yeah,
sampling.
he's sampling. So my question is not about whether you should stop checking the phone. Because if we all say stop with a microphone, Charlie, you hear it, but your fingers, before you say jack, you are checking. Then you are blocked. Then you now go and do undercover FBI things. You do mapping, coding and mapping and this thing. The last time he did something 13, no, now will be something 15, 16, then permutation. Then by the time you find out, no, you check, no,
new password.
The new password. So I think
hard,
that you can't stop checking. The question is whether you should put yourself in a situation where you should even consider checking or not. That is my thing. So my thing is that, yes, I know you can't stop checking. You can't lose him. We've all felt like that about somebody at one point or the other. But when we moved ahead, we realized that it was better we moved after so many years. So you move on from somebody after so many years, you look back and like, hey, if I stayed there, I could have been terrible.
Wahala.
Yeah, so I think that, yes, now the feeling that you can't lose him is normal. We've all felt it. We've all cried and, you know, my life is coming to an end and all that. But we've moved on and, you know, to better things. So, Charlie, yeah.
All right, Claudia, let me bring you in. What do you think?
For me, it's the way she asked if I should stop checking his phone. At least as if checking the phone is preventing him from doing the things that he's doing. The checking the phone act, you know, what problem is it solving? Because you see, I can relate to what she's doing because I'm a woman, and sometimes in a relationship where you suspect that your partner is cheating, momentarily you're like a mad woman. An FBI agent, a mad woman, investigating every nook and cranny is like you're trying to solve a puzzle. And until the puzzle is solved, you are not yourself. And so what she's doing now, it is not healthy. And the guy, from the language that she used to couch this text, is a classic manipulator. He's gaslighting her. So I've seen that you are talking to women. I've seen that you are cheating, but this person is telling you, these are friendly conversations. What can you do about it? You can't beat him. He's telling what you are seeing. He's trying to erase that thought from your mind. And at that point, he has prioritized that action in itself, speaks to who is the priority in his life. Because you see, when you come into a man's life and he loves you, it's not that he's going to abandon all his loved ones and then you move to number one on the list. But the little acts that he does to safeguard your mental health sometimes tells you how this person feels about you. So he has decided that, you know what, I'm going to do the bare minimum to keep you around because I know you are not going anywhere. So he's doing just enough to keep you there. So he will change the password because he knows you are not going anywhere. He will tell you his friendly conversations because he knows you will stay. And you will keep talking about the same thing, expecting different answers. When you know in your heart of hearts that his responses are not going to change, the behavior is not going to change. When he marries you, if you are lucky, and you emerge as number one among the current contestants, and you become the wife, that is going to be worse because now you have kids, and now the reason to leave becomes more difficult. So if I were her, like Rosina said, I would tell you to, not to evaluate, but to actually ask yourself, what are you getting from this arrangement? Because we go to relationships for things that we need: companionship, a safe space, someone who has your back, someone who prioritizes your mental health, someone who respects you, someone who is not abandoning people, but you still know that you are number one, like he has your back. From the text that you sent, you are not getting any of these. So why are you still there? And that's a question that you have to be very honest and ask for yourself and answer yourself. And again, you are lucky. You are seeing all these red flags now. Some are not lucky enough. They see it after I do. And then they have to go through the process of divorce. You have been lucky to see all these red flags, but it's like you want to change the red flags to pink or to white to satisfy yourself that you can't change a cheat. He's a serial cheat who has mastered the act. He's a number one gaslighter. Like, I'm seeing red. He's telling me, no, it's not red, it's white. You can't beat him. So at this point, you can't change the other person's actions. The only way is how you respond to that person's actions. So the ball is in your court. Do you want to be with a cheat? Do you want to change a cheat? And again, when women are in these kind of relationships, they are evaluating, if I lose this person, what is the quality of the alternatives out there? Maybe it's probably been with him so long, she's evaluating, I'm now going to start all over again. But then this sunk cost fallacy can keep you in that arrangement for years and you wouldn't get any benefits. So she has to prioritize her interest and happiness now. This man is not going to change. You can't change him. And in situations that you can't change, two things: you either belittle yourself and settle. And at that point, when you settle, you have no moral right to complain because you saw the red flags and you decided to stay. So at that point, it is management and response. You are firefighting. And then at some point, you'll be fighting side chicks. He changes his password, you'll be there and you'll be spying, when he's entering his phone.
You've done some before.
You become an FBI investigator on top of issues. And when you are doing these things, it affects your career. You're not able to function at work because once your work colleagues are strategizing and coming up with good initiatives and getting promoted, you are busy chasing a man to be faithful to you. When if you've given yourself the chance and maybe stay a year or two, you'll be lucky. And someone who is willing to protect your peace will come along, and all these things that you are fighting for, you wouldn't even have to say it. He does it naturally. So why are you willing to put yourself through all this hassle? And sometimes you belittle this. By now, she's spoken to all her friends. So whenever she meets her friend, it's the center of conversations. It's the number one thing you talk about. It becomes the priority. And once this takes your peace, you can't do other things. So this relationship that is not building you up, that is not helping you, is stealing your joy and the ability to progress in other spheres of your life. I beg you, please leave him. You find someone else. And I won't even beat around the bush again.
That's all.
This is a toxic man. He's a toxic man. And unless he has the soul experience where he meets Jesus in the middle of the street, goes blind and changes, he will not change. It will get worse after you have kids and you have the ring. Move on.
Ceci. You have the final word on this
You
matter.
have said everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Intentionally.
So let me just add another branch to it. In a relationship, no matter the level of the relationship, everybody is entitled to their privacy. Everybody. Unless you guys have come to the agreement that, okay, I can be all up in your business and you can be all up in my business. You can take my phone anytime and I can take your phone anytime. I think your phone, well, to me, is your personal space, and what you do over there is your business. But what you show your partner is really, really important. For her to have come to the extent of saying that I cannot lose him, it's obvious that the guy knows that you cannot lose him. So he's using it to his advantage, and he's keeping you there and doing his nonsense. So he has realized that, she can't do without me. So he's doing the standard stuff to keep you there. It's all well and good that you have seen what he's doing. And the only question you could ask was, should I stop checking his phone?
Can you imagine?
I know, right?
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
So that's the problem.
What? I was going to say
If we say, okay, stop, then what? He stops it? Or we say continue, then he stops it? That is not the question. If the question you have asked,
I was expecting, does this man really love me? Should I continue?
But she wants to
because
stop this
question that you are asking
Is a
clearly
problem.
shows that you, Krano, you don't know your left from your right. You don't know what you are doing there. Even if you come out of there, you wouldn't know what you are doing with your life, because you have placed him in the center of your life, and everything is surrounded. Like he in fact, everything is encompassed around him. Is the middle of your life, is your everything. And instead of being at work and like
I'm not thinking about the question over and over again.
like Claudia rightly said, you are at work, instead of you like Charlie once, you know, she's that kind of person that when she gets to work, she cannot, you see, you should be able to separate your personal life, your
she's
emotions.
thinking, hey, by this time,
No, she wants
You
to go.
see-
he's doing this.
Yeah,
No,
so
I wish I was
you
there to
should be
check.
able to separate your emotions, and you see, she should just I don't even know what to tell her again. Just try and separate your emotions from this situation and look at yourself. Are you being fair to yourself? Let's forget about him for a little bit. He's not being fair to you, that we all know. But are you being fair to yourself?
Yeah.
Because if you don't treat yourself right, no one else would.
Thank you.
I think you should.
So
you should just not-
prioritize yourself, prioritize your happiness. You are not married though. You are in a relationship. You are courting or dating, whatever it is that you have. And already, you know, you are doing black ops. You are doing coding and permutations.
Ideally,
Charlie,
nobody should be put into that space
At
where
all.
you think you need to check.
At all. You see, you are talking about when she settled. You mentioned earlier that when she settles, and then now the mental and the depression, and it has already started. It has already started, because it's like her life is surrounded by those things, and you are constantly checking. See, phone.
You even notice he changes his
Phone,
password
no.
frequently.
Yeah.
Phone. Fine, the password is there to ward off people. But me, if you ask me for my password right now, if you are my partner, okay, and you want to do something on my phone, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. There was a time my husband, he wanted to make a call, something of the sort. Then he opened, then he wanted, it's like he wanted to go into my WhatsApp. So I was like, why do you have a WhatsApp password? Then I said, I have friends, sometimes maybe they are looking through pictures. Some people are tempted to go into your WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And I've had that happen a couple of times.
And
So I
when
told them,
see private conversation
Yeah.
that or
yes. So you give, sometimes you are showing a picture to somebody, even pictures, the gallery.
And the person will
you go through before you realize where the
Then
person has
some
gotten.
other
Maybe
place.
we
I
are in
don't know why people
September.
do that.
We are in September.
that is in January.
We are in September. The person is in January. You checked your pictures. So I have a problem with that. So yeah, ward off all that. But if you want to do something on my phone, I give you the password. You do whatever you want to do.
I mean, he has
okay, I don't
mine,
have a
also
problem
has-
with it.
He has
But
mine,
for-
also have
but
his,
for me,
but we don't check.
But even me,
When I was going
for
to-
me, we don't have. We don't have. But it's like it's not like we sat down to discuss, but it is it's a non-verbal agreement because I don't touch yours.
Okay.
So
as you can see that I don't touch yours, please don't touch mine. Okay.
Actually.
Yeah. So please, like Claudia said, me
Yeah,
too.
then-
I'll add my voice. I beg you, leave him.
Right, so we'll wrap up this conversation because, Ali, I mean, you're saying your last
It's
statement you
no-brainer.
made was, I don't want to lose him. We are here to announce that you will lose him.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of
One
time.
way or the other.
Okay.
You have lost
So
him already.
Decide, and just proceed. I mean, it's entirely up to you. But that heartbreak is just down the line. It's already started.
It go reach
And if you continue to engage him and entertain him on that level, it's not going to stop. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, there's more.